my first mission trip, so I was a little scared at first, but it's quite eye-opening and rewarding at the same time.
Jesus was my example, how he came and served, and so I wanted to do the same thing. So it was an opportunity for me to come and to serve the people here.
I actually decided to go because I was told that there aren't a lot of medical people coming.
My motives in coming on this trip could really be summed up in the ministry of Jesus. Medical work has been intrinsic to the gospel from the very beginning of Jesus' ministry. He was a healer. The word heal, by very definition, is to restore, to make whole, to bring health.
Just a great opportunity again to be able to go overseas and, witness to the people there and really meet the needs of the people.
This is my first time in Vietnam. The traffic here is crazy. The people here are super nice. Basically, it feels like you're living in a sauna 24 hours a day.
My first impressions were, it is hot here.
When I first arrived, I was a little confused with all the traffic here and how there weren't more accidents since there's so many people on the street. In a way, it's organized chaos.
Crossing the street in Ho Chi Minh City is sort of like playing the game Frogger, except it's not just a game, it's real life. And you gotta watch out for yourself.
We had a chance to tour around a little bit. We went on a tour to the Mekong Delta. We got to go to a few little islands there. It was really enjoyable.
It was a lot of fun riding the boats down and visiting the different islands and really just being in the jungles and the tropics and just being out in the nature and really seeing how the locals live, and all of that it was a really good experience.
The area that we visited, our primary focus point was an area called Tay Ninh Province. It was kind of more of a rural setting. We worked kind of on the outskirts of the Tay Ninh Province, roughly 40 minutes from the Cambodian border. And we saw really a broad spectrum of medical issues as far as the medical side is concerned. Our target group was the younger children. So most of our patients were between the ages of infanthood to 6 to 7 years old. It really does something for a person when you can help a child, when you can bring a smile to their face, or when you can bring a smile to their parents' face. It changes something in you.
I just love spending every moment that I could with the children, getting to know them and just their personalities and just how thankful and sweet they were. So grateful for what we came to provide for them.
As they went through and received a gift and received love and a caring hand, and I really saw some smiles come to their faces, and that really encouraged me. It's exciting, and that was one of my favorite parts of this trip. Just see smiles on their faces, see some happy kids. I enjoyed it.
The community that we went to, you could tell that they didn't have much money, and when observing them in the dental clinic that we set up with a local dentist, it was evident that a lot of them had bottle caries, which is decay of usually the front teeth, and you want to teach them how to take better care of their teeth and their children's teeth, so less problems will be evident in the future. We set up an informational booth with a PowerPoint slide, and from there we taught them about hygiene, to drink water, and we taught them also about dental care. We told them how to brush their teeth, how to floss as well. And
it was funny, as I was teaching in the lectures, I could see the parents, and they would nudge their children and keep pointing, like, you need to do this, you need to do this. It was so cute, and we'd ask the kids questions, and they would answer, they share what kind of food they ate, what were their health habits. It was really good to see, and they were absorbing the information in.
During the 5 days that we were there, we saw over 300 children, almost 350 children. We saw a wide range of different childhood illnesses, anywhere from just simple ear infections to runny noses, colds, to more complex problems such as heart disease and congenital heart disease. We also picked up a little boy that was born, he couldn't talk. And just through the history and looking at him, we found out he couldn't move his tongue. His tongue was attached to the bottom of his mouth. So, it's a simple procedure just to clip the procedure, and here he is 8 years old, and for the first time he might be able to start learning how to speak. Another little boy couldn't read, really good with math, but he couldn't read. So this is a child that probably has dyslexia. So that's another thing that we could refer on to the hospitals here in Vietnam. There was another little girl that had real bad photophobia. She could read, but she couldn't see far away. And so we were able to identify from the very simple to the complex and help each child. There was one child who was just 3 weeks old, and both mom and dad came in, and they were very worried about the baby because this was their first baby. They didn't know what was normal and what was abnormal. So just to spend time and to hold the baby and go over some things with them, it was a real blessing, and they left with smiles on their faces.
I do water systems on 3 or 4 different continents, but we're in Vietnam right now, so let's talk about Vietnam. Vietnam, especially in the outer areas like where we were at Tay Ninh, they all have farm families and they're poor. And these farm families, many times all they do is drink out of a cistern. And it's a cistern that they fill full of water. All the living creatures you can imagine live in there, plus a few that you don't want to know about. You go out and you test the water, it looks like it ought to kill you. You pull the samples, you come back, you put them in Petri dishes, you incubate them for 24 to 48 hours, and then you read them. And some of them, you look at it and you see all the E. coli, the total coliform. But then when you see the reds and the purples coming up in the bacteria counts and you see them growing, you know that probably these people are going to be really sick. And so when we went out to the community where they had, we installed a water filter. It's basically a tank, has levels of gravel and sand, and after a period of time the biolayer forms that kills the bad bugs. You know, for us, we give them water, and it's kind of like living water. You know, isn't that what Jesus did? He gave people living water.
I would definitely recommend going on a mission trip. I really enjoy traveling, and this is a great way to not only experience the culture, but also to help someone. It's very fulfilling, and I enjoyed it on this mission trip.
I've done a lot of mission trips. It's a passion of my life.
Whenever you place yourself in a position to serve others, you're placing yourself in a position to receive a blessing yourself. That has been our experience here. We give, you're giving of yourself, you're giving of your time, your energy, but you're really receiving a whole lot more than you could ever give. And so to someone who's contemplating going on a mission trip, I would say go. It's going to affect your perspective, it's going to affect your worldview, and it's going to really change the way that you look at a lot of things.
It's really important for all people to get outside of their safety envelope. In America, we have such a strong safety envelope that we forget about Jesus. When you walk out into the airport, get on the plane, and you fly 7,000 or 8,000 miles, and you get off a place you've never seen before, all of a sudden, that safety envelope is gone. And when you get into those types of situations, it's kind of like a drug. It's my drug of choice. You just you want more, and you want more. You say, Lord, wow, I just want to see you do it again.
The gift of missions is we first go to try to help them. And we have the opportunity to show them the love of Jesus. But through sharing and the kindness we show, we're the one that's blessed. So if you haven't gone on a mission trip, it is an incredible opportunity to share Jesus' love.
You seeing God being able to use you to reach others is a powerful thing. And realizing that lives have been changed and hearts have been impacted, not just for serving physical needs, but reaching spiritual needs as well. I really feel it's the most fulfilling thing. And on top of that, just the extra bonus is being able to experience another culture and to learn and to grow in your awareness of the world and how people live. It's just, it's a win-win situation. You can't lose when you go on a mission trip.